We are live right now. Nathan, do the introduction. Go. Welcome to the view.
What? What? Huh?
You're the introductory guy.
Oh yeah, I am. Now?
Correct. We are live.
Oh, y'all didn't see that. Hi, Nathan Brown. I'm a co-host. Welcome to the View.
Welcome to the view. Welcome to the view. Welcome to the view.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Megan McCain.
Excuse me. Let me talk,
Wait,
please.
do you have the YouTube
Hi,
link?
I'm
Do you have the
Megan
YouTube
McCain.
link?
Oh
My
shit. Yeah, I didn't
dad
post the YouTube
died,
link
so
anywhere.
give me attention.
Terrell.
Hold on. You can do a restart. No one was watching because I didn't post the YouTube link anywhere.
Good.
Okay. Now go.
Hello. Welcome to
Jacob's
the View.
Joy.
Hi, I'm Megan McCain. My dad died. Give me attention.
You and your dumb dead dad.
I know, he's looking up. He's looking up.
Jacob's
Fake
Joy.
Republican. True, I am Joy Behar.
You are.
You gotta speak with a little bit more shrill of a voice. Just like.
Just gonna add a little bit more bitch to your voice.
All
Jake.
right, so today on the View we're discussing the the ongoing presidential election between Kenneth already texted in the chat the ongoing presidential election between what are their names? Secretary Andrew Dominguez, former Representative Aaron Stemann, and President Ethan Fitzgerald.
Former senator.
We're
He's a former senator.
We're joined today by Nathan Brown, Terrell McCann, Adam
Mm-hmm.
Evans, Jacob Tawney, and Tom Kirkman, the vice president of Mr. Fitzgerald's campaign. I want to start off by asking Mr. Kirkman, how optimistic are you guys about your chances of winning re-election and becoming the first four-term administration?
Well, in terms of our chances of victory, I think that right now I'm feeling pretty optimistic. We just came out of a strong performance with the debate. I think we definitely outperformed, at very least, Mr. Dominguez. I think Mr. Stemann did well for himself on the stage. I congratulate him on that. But I think we definitely outperformed Mr. Dominguez, and I think voters are now getting a clear look into the difference between Mr. Fitzgerald and Mr. Dominguez and the policies and the vision and the record that both are bringing to the table. And I think if that's the choice, then there'll be a resounding decision in favor of us come Friday.
Yes, I think I'd have to agree with that. Mr. Tawney, you're representing the Stemann campaign. What do you think about Mr. Stemann's chances? People are becoming more optimistic about his candidacy every day.
Well, at first, many people wrote him off. Like I believe you did, Robert. But after the debate, I think he did very well. I think he proved himself as a serious candidate. I definitely think he outperformed Andrew Dominguez. I think he either slightly lost or probably tied with the president, but I think...
the moderators outperformed Andrew Dominguez.
Okay.
That's not very hard to outperform Andrew Dominguez, let's be honest.
I think that when, as Aaron likes to say, rule America, watching the debate definitely thinks that Andrew Dominguez is not their candidate because of his failure to really take action and stand up for a lot of issues that he's supporting. I don't think he's released a platform yet. So with very few days left of the campaign, I think that Mr. Stemann and the president are definitely going to be outperforming Mr. Dominguez.
It seemed like a little bit of a tag team in the debate. I mean, I agree with most of what you said. I didn't really write him. I just want to correct one thing. I didn't really write him off. I thought he was a joke campaign at first because he came into the campaign with the name Baron Beeman. So I thought he was kidding
Well,
around.
to be fair, a lot, like pretty much half, 3/4 of the community did. So that's fine.
So I mean, that didn't mean to offend him or anything, but I'm glad he's running a serious candidacy.
Good.
But
I mean, if when you bring up the kind of tag team that was going on, I mean, we saw in the debate in regards to healthcare when it was brought up, the president and Mr. Stemann virtually agreed on the policy. I mean, They spoke about the act, and then they spoke about the state lines, eliminating the regulations through state lines and things like that. They agreed on that, and so obviously they put forward that, and Mr. Dominguez has another plan, which obviously not many people know about because he decided not to release his platform, and I don't know if he's going to. He keeps saying he loves it and that you'll love it, but
I think
we don't know yet because it's not even out. But I think
at the very least, release a preliminary platform and then continue to edit it throughout the campaign. With this close to the campaign, let us know your
what I
vibes.
think he's trying to do is because when he ran against the president in the primary last season, he released a platform which many described as being written on the back of a receipt. It was very small and undetailed, and the president released a platform that was many, many pages in contrast to that, and it was a big issue of the campaign. So I think he's trying to counter that, but I think if he really wanted to run for president, if he really wanted to show the American people that he's ready to lead, he should have had his platform ready to go from day one, and he hasn't, and that's on him.
I also think many senior citizens find it very concerning that he would have in the past or currently supports cutting Social Security. So I think that's going to play a very big role in who Dominguez people.
And he was lying about that the entire time throughout the debate. He kept saying, I didn't want to cut Social Security. We had the screenshots. I was looking at them as he was saying it. He wanted to freeze Social Security and other things.
Mr. Stemann and Mr. Fitzgerald did agree that they would not cut Social Security, so I think that was a very good thing to do.
Yes, that was
to try to win over some of those voters who were undecided. I mean, it's a big thing when the Republican promises not to cut it, but the Independent does.
I think it was sad and desperate of Mr. Dominguez. I mean, we got to a point in the debate where Mr. Dominguez was accusing the president of wanting to debt trap other nations. Like that was the point that he got to in this debate. Like he must have seen the writing on the wall and must have seen, this isn't going well for me. Like, this was a strong performance by the president, Mr. Stemann. He wasn't doing so well. So I think he went desperate and tried to say that the president wanted to debt trap other nations, despite the fact that he's laid out and is implementing an action plan to do the exact opposite to stop debt trapping. And he's just,
specified
it's
actually.
It's a denigration. It's a denigration of the campaign, and it's actually sad to see.
I'm very good friends with Mr. Dominguez, but I do think he was not telling the truth the whole time. So that's just my opinion.
Well, it's sad to see what the presidential campaign does to some people, for sure.
True.
And I mean, that's the correlation we've been making for a while. The difference between Secretary Dominguez and Candidate Dominguez. I mean, we saw in cabinet 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, he was saying things like the Fitzgerald administration can't stop accomplishing. Then he decides to leak screenshots from a confidential cabinet chat to our potential political opponent, and then goes around yelling, Fitzgerald ruined my career, despite the fact that it was his actions, and he implicated Brett Patrick and hurt Brett Patrick's career and along the line, so he did that himself, but then tried to blame it on Fitzgerald, and said that Fitzgerald ruined his career, meanwhile he was launching a presidential campaign. So, I mean, I don't understand. So he took whatever action he thought was right, which, betrayed our trust, because we did trust him, and he was doing a good job. And, it was just sad to see him denigrate to the level of leaking to a political opponent and then try and turn that on us somehow as if we did that. We didn't leak anything. I don't know. And then he's all of a sudden flip-flopped on all of his positions and changed them back and forward.
Attacking an administration you've praised before. It's ridiculous.
And then he tried to take, and then in the debate prior, the first debate, he tried to take credit for everything the administration's done. Mr. President, you have all the bills that have been written. You haven't done anything. Yet we go back not even 3 weeks earlier. He gave an interview with Luke Zhang on 538 and said none of this would have been possible without the president. I mean, this guy just doesn't stop changing his position. It's actually hard to believe.
Yeah, well, it's terrible. It's terrible. And
anyone else want to stick anything in? Because there's been pretty one-sided opinions here.
Yeah, is anyone on the side of Mr. Dominguez on this? Like Mr. Brown, you supported Andrew in the past election, isn't that correct?
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think about this election and Mr. Dominguez's campaign and the things that have been said so far?
Pass.
He's Attorney General. The Attorney General.
Oh, right. Well, Terrell.
Integrity.
I'd imagine, Terrell.
What the hell do you want?
I'd imagine that you, let's say, don't necessarily support the Fitzgerald administration. What do you think of the campaign at this point, and where Mr. Dominguez is at with his campaign?
All I have to say is Merry Christmas. Don't say that I never gave you people anything.
See, you like to do that. That's
okay.
You like to think you.
Remember when you beat Trey for house?
Thank you. Thank you, Terrell. I'm
Thank
very
you, Terrell.
appreciative of all you've done for MEC.
We very
Yes,
much
well,
appreciate all the hard work.
And that is not sarcasm
Well,
as well.
you
Thank you
know,
for your contribution.
I know some people, they kind of like to uh, underestimate what certain people are able to do and what they have done.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so,
when you ran,
you know,
like when you ran as
Do you have
the
something to
Wakanda
add,
reform, you
Kenneth?
actually
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kenneth, do you have? You've expressed some opinions in the
That
chat.
just
was
a
what I
little,
was
just a
signaling.
little.
Just a little.
Well, I
So-
will say that MEC
Don't be
10
afraid. Give your whole
MEC
opinion.
10. Oh, darling,
This
I'm
is The
not
View.
afraid. I am not afraid.
You
This
meant
is
to
the
give
view.
review
Mac-
of review, so come on,
Mac-
give it up.
Old ladies.
MEC tends to underestimate several people. Not to toot my own horn here, but we can see that in the last election when a specific campaign got too cocky and thought they were going to win in a landslide, but nearly won just by 4 or 5 votes. We look at several other people in MEC. I don't like them at all. I wish they would leave MEC entirely.
Name them.
Name 'em.
now.
Name 'em.
We will
About.
we will start with the name San
I'll name
Martinez.
two. I'll
That
start
one
with-
has
yeah.
to go. That's a given.
That's a given. Who else? Who else?
Infinite Kid.
If I could, that's true.
You know, there are several people. You know, they tend to piss me off.
But
But
let's start with D and end with David Davidson.
well, that one did throw a little something at me earlier today.
So
I
you banned
did.
him, right?
I didn't say what happened.
He actually.
Look, if
banned
I can just
him.
add, I mean, Kenneth brought up how he only won by 5 votes. I mean, we were hardly overconfident. We released a massive platform, far-reaching. We put in so much effort into it because we knew we were going to need.
Exactly.
We were going to need to put in. We were going
Mine
to need
was
to make
bigger.
our policy
And-
public, our plans bold, and then lay them all out for the American people to see. We put that forward because we knew.
And
this
that's
was
why
gonna
you
be a
put the
tough
font
election.
in bold.
I
And
said
they
that from the
delivered
start.
on
We
those
had
plans.
we had
in
a
all
tough
fairness,
nomination battle. We put our hearts into the nomination, and we are victorious. And by the way, when you look at polling at the start of that nomination battle, we were losing by a landslide. We won by a landslide in the nomination. Sure, the general wasn't a cakewalk, and that's okay. But we put our
Well,
heart
you
and soul into that
definitely- you
campaign. and I don't
definitely do
regret a
have
single bit of
bold-
it.
Well,
You
to
definitely-
be fair, to be
Yeah.
fair to the Davidson campaign, when you mentioned quote, you were doing everything you can basically, or well, no matter of fact, take that off quote because that's not what you said. But indirectly, your campaign, I think that the Davidson campaign did more campaigning than the Fitzgerald. I
I
think
don't
they
think
have
that's
put
true at all.
that is
Well, I
true.
mean, he was a fascist.
Adam,
So.
if you can confirm this or not, but they did release more campaign basically campaign speeches
besides
throughout
the fact
the United
of who-
States.
Adam,
than Fitzgerald.
Adam,
they were more.
Adam.
They were more.
I mean, if we talk
energized.
about campaign speeches,
Adam, you
I
need to
saw.
bring back. Okay.
We talk about
I need to
campaign
back
speeches.
what?
I was scrolling back through MEC the other day, and I saw then President Chase Stevens release a 5-sentence rally for David Davidson. So I don't know what you qualify as a rally or a speech, but look, Americans saw the vision we put forward in our platform and in our plans, and they voted majoritarily for it. And now in this election, we have enacted what we've promised. We've laid it forward. We've got even more coming in the budget. That's up in Congress as we speak. More's coming. And I'm confident that the American people see that now, and they'll see it again, and a majority of them will have that confidence in the president come Friday.
Okay, Kenneth. Okay,
Oh,
Kenneth.
I was
Mr.
gonna
Kirkman.
say, never mind, Jacob. Go.
Oh, thank you. Well, you definitely do have many bold plans and that are in bold font, and I just want
Okay,
to
Epideli.
Hey.
Thank you, Epideli. Thank you.
Well, I would say this. I would say
Okay.
this since we're
Finished.
talking about Congress, folks, and for people who are watching, I would be advertising this right now, Robert. So excuse me. Tell John and the people in the House to put the $15 minimum wage up for vote. Thank you.
I would
Also,
say that maybe.
Also-
Can we also get
bring
a
back the speech
prayer
counter.
for the Senate, because right now it's in a bit of a state.
Bring-
We need to
bring
put a
back-
prayer there.
bring back the
Terrell,
speech
lead the
counter.
prayer. Terrell, lead the prayer.
I think we should probably get a budget passed, don't you? I mean,
Holy
we've
Father,
been
who art in
we've been
heaven,
in
hallowed be thy name.
Oh yeah,
we've
yeah.
been in
So
shutdown for 2 months, so maybe the speaker
correction
is
one.
trying to play politics when somebody's been playing politics for so long, stopping us from getting an effective budget passed. I mean,
Let me
I think
respond
some
to
people
what,
have been playing politics for so long they can't see when others are playing
Boom.
let me
politics.
respond
That's it
to
right
what
But Let me
Yeah,
look,
like,
we've
it's
got the
hard, you
budget,
can't
we've got it in.
tell.
Look, we've had disagreements with some in Congress and a specific caucus in the Senate, but that's okay. We've
You
spoken.
can name me specifically. I was the one
Okay, yeah,
Hey.
laying out a
we've
lot
had a
of
few.
stuff.
We've had a few issues with the
Accountability
caucus in
caucus
regards
is
to.
iconic, and you know it.
We've had a few issues in regards to a few tax brackets and a few minor changes, but overall, and a few spending increases or decreases. But we've entered negotiations. We have spoken with Kenneth, who leads the caucus. We had a few tense moments, but in the end, we spoke about it. We gave our opinions, and we've agreed to do some compromise. We hope they'll agree to do the same thing, so we can actually get the government running again with a functional and good budget. That actually, it's not just a budget like you see usually that cuts a few spending, increases a few, and keeps the surplus. No, it's a complete overhaul of the tax system. It's a complete overhaul of the whole thing, and we needed that after the mess the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act left us in. And so it's actually a really good budget that has set forward really good policies that will actually make a genuine difference.
Remove the last
well,
element.
hold on.
So I really hope we can get it passed.
Let us not forget who, on the Democratic side, initiated the Tax Cuts and Job Act and led the caucus to support and pass that bill. It was you, Speaker
was me.
Quinones. It was you,
It was
Speaker
me.
Quinones. So
I know.
we have to be open and honest about that. I was the one of
Heifer,
the.
did I
I was
decline
the.
it?
I was. I was the
said
only
you.
one. I
The
was the
View,
only
Sparks
one.
Flight on the View.
I was the only one in the
Jesus.
Congressional Democratic Caucus to oppose that legislation, and to
Well, I think
no
President
prevail.
President Fitzgerald made the bill in the Senate. That's just out there.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I did not. Okay, President Fitzgerald made the bill.
When
Great, I forgot about that.
when Robert goes like, "Hey, you gotta own up to it," I'm like, "Bitch, I said
mean,
it
yes,
3
it's because they
seconds
cut
before
HUD.
you even said it for me."
No, I think you do have to own up to it because you
And I
compromised
did.
on legislation that shouldn't have been compromised for political gain. That is a problem.
Excuse me? Are you accusing
We should
that it
bring
was
back
for
the
political
Enabling
gain?
Act.
So if we're gonna talk about political gain, Robert, we should start looking into yours as well. So we got plenty to talk about, darling.
Go
It can
ahead.
go one way or another.
Go ahead right away. What?
I'm eating my dinner.
Oh,
so
yeah, right.
Give me one
Season
second.
27 election rigging.
Oh,
Oh,
Evidence.
Lord.
Where's the evidence to that?
It
You guys
was-
threw that claim out.
Go.
No. I'm okay. We
It
can
was
address
a
that
Round
claim.
one.
We can address that claim. You guys threw that out in the MEC chat with no evidence whatsoever, saying you heard it from someone in a call. There is no evidence to suggest that
Let's just say I had a
whatsoever.
conversation
And
with
actually,
Mr.
if we want
Brady.
to talk about season 27 rigging, let's just not forget that the mods announced there were 7 fraud votes in favor of Brett Patrick, 4 of which came from a single source. So I mean, who's really? I'm not accusing Mr. Patrick of rigging, but which side has actually engaged in rigging? There were like 2 fraud votes found for me. They were IP mistakes, and then the 7 found for,
They are members of the Black Panther.
and then 7 found for Mr. Patrick. 4 of which were from the same person. 2 of which were IP mistakes, which correlates with my votes. So
Wait. Which
who
one?
actually
Tara
had the fraud
Lorena?
votes? Because
Which
I
one?
I just
Tara
brought up
Lorena.
evidence, and you guys are just bringing up claims
Truth
that you
in it.
cannot
well,
back up.
Robert, darling. So if you want to use that, we're gonna insert that logic, right? So you claimed a while back season 25 was rigged, and we're gonna settle this right here.
It was not. It was not.
So you claimed, and you started accusing us of potentially rigging season 25. Well, listen here, darling. I asked
but like
for
15
evidence,
votes.
and you accused me, and y'all took it way too far. That at that time, Roman had to come out and say no one touched the ballot because he was the mod of elections at the time. So I asked, "Where's the evidence?" Because I'm literally fed up
Period.
with all
Well,
this.
first
If I
of
can
all,
just say-
I
if
was,
I can
I
say
was
quickly,
fed
if I
up.
can say
Excuse
quickly.
me. Hold
first
on.
of all, I
So
never,
we're gonna
I was
insert
not crusading against you for the
Oh,
season
Robert.
25. For the allegations against season 25, other people brought up those allegations. I simply
Darling, you were the
questioned
one
them along with
pushing
other
it.
people in the MEC chat. You can't say I led
Look,
the
if I can just
crusade
say, if I can just say
against
this
you
really
in
quickly.
season 25. That's nowhere near comparable to what just happened
If I
in the
can
MEC
say
chat.
this,
also
Tom,
won
go
by
if
ahead.
I can just
15
say this really quickly, I've known Adam for a long time. He's a good owner.
Yes.
He's my friend. I don't think Adam would rig it. I've also known Roman as a good friend for a while. I don't think he would let rigging happen.
And
Sorry,
that's,
Ben was calling me. I don't
that's-
think either of these elections were rigged. I trust who ran them. Roman and Adam are good friends. They're trustful people. I mean, we've seen Roman show his unbiased in the debates. We've seen Adam be a good owner. So I don't think either of these elections were rigged. And I congratulate you both on your victory in those elections.
True.
And all I
I think
did
it
in
went by
season
bigger
25,
margin,
let's not twist the facts, was agree with some of the claims that were brought up for evidence that were then proven to be false by Roman, that everyone else did in the MEC chat. So we can't. It's not at all the same as bringing up.
I did.
Well, listen here, Black.
Hold.
Whoa.
I didn't win the election by rigging. I ran because I was running against an anarcho-communist. That's why I won the damn election.
Well, yeah. You
Arrest
won.
him.
You won, and then nuked Canada, and were inactive for most of it. But
Didn't do that there.
And then it was voided by the mods.
I mean, look, I'm not attacking Aaron here, but I'm just saying, Jacob, you always say, you say I didn't do what Aaron did, but then you're like,
That's true.
Aaron.
That is
no,
true.
I'm not trying to hit on Aaron. I'm just saying, like, Aaron and I have ironed out our issues. Aaron's a nice guy.
I like
but,
that. Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just a bit of a,
Wait, hold up. Wait, give me 1 second.
I don't think you heard about that. Aaron and I spoke, yeah.
When did this happen, girl? Spill the tea.
Okay, so
I
after
told
the
you in
debate.
the chat. Okay, whatever.
Okay, so in case people don't know,
You told me you were.
I said
Okay,
me and Tom.
Aaron and I have had a feud for a while after disagreement. Last year, I think, or early this year. I don't remember exactly, but we had a disagreement. But recently, he reached out to me and told me, and we spoke, and we're gonna go on a call later and finish it all out. But yeah, I have no issues with Aaron.
This sounds like tea.
Well, we'll let them hash it out.
I mean, it
We'll
is.
let them hash it out. Now that we have the... Go ahead, Kenneth.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some failed
Kenneth is the Abby
politicians
Huntsman
here.
of the show. I have to just say that.
We're going to
Is
talk
this
about
on
failed.
stream?
We're gonna go on to
is.
failed.
Okay.
Excuse me. Hold up. We're going to talk about failed politicians. We're going to start with Sam. All right. So,
Oh my
failed
god.
politician number 1. I think Sam is rated number 1 on this topic. I have my reasons, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has their reasons.
Well, winning an election and then doing nothing every time you're elected is pretty bad.
My opinions on Sam have been clear in the past, and they haven't changed. But I'm not going to put them out again.
My feelings are strong as ever before, and will always be.
Why are they still so strong, though? Sam is no longer a person of power in the community.
Well, it doesn't matter if you have power. I don't care if you
He's
have
not even
power
in the
or not.
community anymore, so.
Exactly. So
Praise
just leave
Well,
it.
Jesus,
thank
hallelujah!
God.
God has answered my prayers.
Oh my God! Hold up. Let me take a minute to pray to God. Give me 1 second.
Hold on, Jacob. I think we need
No,
to do
I'm
something.
kidding.
She's
Sam and I have had
41
differences.
and her daddy still calls her baby.
Okay, Ben.
No singing
You're
at the
singing
table,
to like
Ben.
hundreds of. Like last time, 200 people watched this, so you're singing to 200
I don't think
people.
200 people are
Oh,
watching this
fuck.
time because it's not as fiery. But
Well, we don't know if it's going to be as fiery yet.
Okay.
yeah, will
Last
still
thing lasted
happen.
a
It's
few
actually
hours.
we've only been streaming for like 20 minutes.
Look, seriously though, I mean, I disagreed. Sam's out of office now. He might not even be in MEC. I just disagree with the way he went about trying to obtain the offices he had. I mean, he really had no regard for others except his little group. And I'm not meaning disrespect to Nathan or Terrell by saying
I will point
I
out
have no
that
issue with
group so
Nathan. I'm
quick
happy.
that you will
Nathan's
never.
Nathan is a great attorney general. Terrell, we have a bit of ice in our relationship, but I don't speak to him much, and I don't intend to use that as a type of battering ram on him. But I mean, I just disagree with the ways he went around trying to get what he wanted, whenever he wanted. But bye.
Failed
That's all I have to
politician
say.
number 2, Michael Walker.
We don't even need. I don't know why we're discussing.
Kenneth,
Michael
you are
Walker
dredging up old
this
memories,
long.
and you do not want them to come back up.
I despise them fucking idiots with all of my heart.
Okay.
Hate
You
is
see,
a strong
my issue
word.
with Michael Walker is like we had a disagreement like years ago, like literally like I think it was like 2018, like early 2018. We had a disagreement. He has hated me with like no qualification ever since, no reconsideration or
Okay,
anything.
speaking.
He's just
Oh wait!
has
Speaking
pure
of
hatred
Everyone,
of
okay.
I got an
for no
important
reason.
announcement. I got an important
Okay.
announcement. Let's say that me and the Attorney General won the case of the abortion. All
Did I ask?
single-handedly.
Right.
Congratulations! Everyone better be clapping. for the Attorney General. He did a phenomenal job.
Good job, Nathan.
You know what? It wasn't me. It was Kenneth.
Fuck
I'm
Kenneth.
flattered. Ben, you're fired.
Who's ABC News?
Yeah, who was
Remote.
ABC
Oh,
News?
cool. That's DSG.
Mhm.
She's 41 and her dad still calls her baby.
Okay, now that we have more people here, I want to open a discussion. Is that okay, Robert?
Yeah, that's
You're
fine,
the
fine.
host, so
If
okay,
we get
cool.
to talk about
so,
people.
now that there's more people here, I want to open a complete discussion to everyone here of all opinions. So let's talk about first. It's on the presidential election. Let's give everyone's opinions on the debate. I mean, a few of us gave our opinions already, but I want to
Okay,
hear a few
I'm
more of
going.
them.
I'm going.
Yeah,
Andrew
okay.
was horrible.
Okay, listen. I have nothing against
Listen.
Andrew. Okay, I have nothing against Andrew personally.
Okay.
Listen, we've had our differences in the past. I consider him. He's an alright fella. He hasn't done anything personally to me. But the bottom line is that anybody who watched that debate knows who came out looking good and who came out looking bad. And anyone who thinks that Andrew Dominguez came out of that debate looking good, anyone who's saying that is just nothing more than a political hack, because the bottom line is he had a very bad performance. I've had bad debates before.
I wonder which one you're referring to.
Yeah, I was gonna say as
his VP debate.
Okay.
We all know
That's been
that.
said 3 times now.
That was the
Okay.
joke.
That was
Anyways,
established.
yes. Anyways, but the thing is, Aaron did very, very well. I will say. I don't agree with Aaron on
Better than
match
expected.
policy, but he did better than I had anticipated, and Fitz did very well as well. So I think I can see how an argument could be made for Fitz or Aaron to who won that debate, just speaking objectively. But I don't think that. Okay.
Who's doing that?
It's Tony.
I don't think that
No,
there's
it's
a
Malik.
legitimate.
Oh,
I don't think
thought
there's a
it actually
legitimate.
was Malik in the call. I was waiting for.
I don't think that there's
Look,
a
if I-
legitimate case to be made for Andrew.
I definitely agree with you,
won that
Ben. I
debate.
think if I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the
Wow,
poll.
Robert had been agreeing. There must be like
Wow,
some
that
divine
you know
world is
it's,
ending,
you know it's
the
true.
world is
You know it's
ending.
true when Robert and Ben agree.
True.
Yeah, you know you're on the right side if they're agreeing with you.
So
And if you're on the opposite
Wrong.
side of us,
True.
who won the second
I'm
debate?
on the
Okay, yeah, I
opposite
found the
side.
poll. 15 out of 30 votes in the who won the debate. That is overwhelming for Fitzgerald, and 5 of those votes were a tie between Fitzgerald and Dominguez for who won. So that means
Okay.
Fitzgerald had a 20 out of 30 performance in this debate for the public polling. That is almost unprecedented in this community, and that shows that President Fitzgerald going into the election has a strong argument. I mean, if he can get another debate going, if the vice presidential debate doesn't happen, then I think he could pretty much lock in this
hey
election.
Jacob.
Why is there a Cookie Bucks clan in this chat?
Oh my lord.
Okay, if I could just address the debate quickly. I mean, I'm not denying that Andrew has a lot of knowledge in economics. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he studied a lot, and that's good for him. But I think more and more the voters see what's going on. They understand what he's running on and why he's running. I think you may think like why he's running isn't important. It's his policies, what he'll do. But why he's running is important because it defines what type of president he'll be. It defines why he got into the office. Because you don't run for president just because you feel like it, or just because you have a disagreement with the incumbent. You run for president because you think you can do a good job and do better. And I mean, we've seen from his campaign, from that ad on debt, where he's basically just trying to paint Fitzgerald as a tax and spend liberal that just adds on
And
debt,
that is why.
which is just a lie. It's a lie because in the budget, the past budget and this current budget, we've put in big debt reduction programs that are tackling the debt, and every single one of our programs is fully paid for and fully funded. So he's pumping that out. And then in the debate, we see him painting Fitzgerald as someone who wants to debt trap nations and as someone who's a liar. And he in the first debate, he literally said, "Your supporters ruin people's careers." He attacked, like that's the basket of deplorables moment of this election. Like he attacked all of Fitzgerald's supporters and put them in this basket of people that ruin careers and and he acted holier than thou in the debate, and I really don't think it's showing. I don't think it's convincing anyone that he's doing a good job in convincing voters. And
And
I mean, he
why
hasn't
the
even got his
Klan
platform
is
out yet. He has
endorsing
nothing
him.
going for him right now. His vice president, God bless Mayo. I hope he's okay and his family's okay. But his vice president just left the ticket. Obviously, through no disagreement or anything. He's got personal issues, and that's fine. I respect that. His vice president left the debate. The ticket. He lost the debate. He hasn't got a platform. He's starting to lose momentum, and momentum's important. And Aaron Stemann is starting to draw a lot of his solid voters who would describe themselves as conservatives and the like. So I think right now he's got to change something up. Otherwise,
And that is why the Klan
the voters
is
are going to
endorsing
spit
him.
him out.
I mean,
That's why
his
the Klan
argument
is
for the
endorsing you.
electoral map, no matter what votes he gets, because Adams already announced that the electoral map is going to be be a little bit more heavy on the election this time, that's already dwindling very fast. Aaron has the momentum with the rural conservatives that would never support President Fitzgerald, and President Fitzgerald is growing with the conservative base with his rallies that he's doing, promoting his rural agenda. So it's going to be it's a pretty hard argument to see Dominguez winning the election, especially with Aaron Stemann being a majority of people's second choice at this point in the election. Kenneth, you're kind of an opposing view. What do you think of this conversation? Like, you apparently think Mr. Dominguez did well in the debate. What is the case for that?
Well, I never said he did. I haven't watched the debate because one, I was working and I never saw it, but I have the debate right in front of me. Yeah, no,
Can I add a topic in?
no,
Okay, well, I wasn't asking for your consent.
and I never even asked for your
So
fucking opinion.
I just want to clarify. You
Okay.
haven't watched the debate, but in the poll you voted that Andrew Dominguez did the best?
Because Andrew Dominguez is a button for undecided.
That is not true. But okay.
What? That is not true.
Dominguez is undecided, basically.
Go ahead,
I don't
Ben.
think Kenneth is the only one that did.
I mean, if I can make a
No,
push,
Kenneth is the
if I
only
can-
one that did that.
This is kind of unprecedented. I'm gonna make a live pitch on the View for your vote.
Marco's on
Okay.
Fox News.
Okay, look, Kenneth, you may be
Well,
attracted by
I
Dominguez. We may
I
have
was
issues in the
looking for an
budget, but just
undecided
remember,
button.
you want
I was
Medicare
looking
for
for-
all. He closed the door on it. He wants to cut Social Security. You
I
don't.
was looking.
He-
I was looking for
He was
the
very
undecided
cautious on your
button there,
$15
so I
minimum
clicked
wage.
Andrew.
Very cautious on your $15 minimum wage. We'll sign it. I mean, we agree with you on policy. We agree with you. We've worked with you. We've negotiated with you.
No.
I think the option's clear for you. But of course, your decision is yours, and it's respected.
Well, I was
No.
into that. I was looking for the undecided button, and Andrew Dominguez didn't show up, so I clicked that.
I mean, let's also
Period.
talk about the type of green energy Andrew Dominguez supports when he talks about, and someone like Epideli who talks about sensible environmentalism. Like, what does that mean? That means energy like biomass, which would totally counteract the Reforestation Act that you put in place for domestic and international growing back of the forests for that effort. Because biomass is, they say they use wood chips, but what are wood chips? You have to cut down trees for wood chips. There are these huge facilities where they
I say cut him.
cut down massive amounts of trees, and there
And?
are hundreds of them across the country. We need a president who's
Well.
committed and who would be willing to, through a open discussion, expand on the NDD, the New Dawn deal. And if I'm elected to the House, this is going to be one of the first things I do to
Like
pass a bill
Adolf Hitler.
to pass a bill to end the use of biomass throughout the country and the subsidies that oil companies are getting for these biomass facilities, because they're allowed
I have a question.
they're allowed to use the term environmentalism when their biomass products are using more natural gas than just burning natural gas itself for energy. So we need to actually address this. And if you're a progressive and you support a candidate who supports energy such as that, then you are
We'd never advertise
you're
ourselves.
contradicting your
I
own
also-
values as a progressive.
I also think. I think.
Now,
another
I
thing
have a
is-
question
I mean,
for
on a
Tom.
side.
Okay, let Jacob go.
1 second. Okay. Go,
Okay.
Jacob. Go, Jacob. Go.
If you want another term to hold on to power, will you pass the Enabling Act or a form
God.
of
Okay,
the
moving
Enabling Act
on.
passed by
Um,
Adolf Hitler
I
to
apologize.
give him
Jacob,
full
remember the
control of the
Britannica Act?
country? True. When
Oh
we
my
passed the Britannica Act
lord.
and Ivor ate it, and Tom signed it.
Okay, wait. So, I just want to say, not only does he support this, as I said in my DNC speech, which sadly I was not able to give because of the time zone differences. It was quite early.
It sucked
Because
and
you
I
did
had
send
school
me
and all the
on it,
rest.
but anyways, regardless.
I slipped through it, yeah, because of time zone differences.
It
But
sucked
as I
because
said in my
Ben McKay
DNC,
ran it.
no comment. As I said in my DNC speech, we cannot let moderation rule over ambition. I think that's important because we have to be ambitious to meet the targets we set for ourselves. We have to be ambitious to, stand up for rural farmers, as Aaron likes to say, be ambitious to stand up for our middle class and people that are working hard to join it. We have to be ambitious in our resolve to pass legislation that is driven by a will and a necessity to help these people. And I think when Andrew not only advocates for moderation over ambition and something to the equivalent of that, he doesn't just want to take little steps forward. He actually wants to take steps backward. He wants to get rid of the INDA completely because he says it unfairly hurts smaller countries that signed onto it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they made the decision to sign onto it. That wasn't our decision.
Let's be clear.
We
it
went to
does
those
not,
governments, and they
it does not. It
yeah, that's
invests
what he
in
says. But even if he's right,
it invests
let's
in the
pretend he's right.
infrastructure of these countries and boosts their infrastructure and the technological abilities that these countries will have moving into, so they can move into a 21st century technological global economy as the rest of us.
Okay,
But
I'm
even
being
if we
tag
say
team.
he's right,
I'm
even if we
being
say he's
tag
right,
team
these
here.
countries,
So,
the governments
I'll
made
just
the
say
decision to
something
sign onto
here.
it. That's their prerogative. We didn't
Listen,
force them. We didn't hold their gun over it. They made that decision.
Listen
And
here.
I mean,
Okay, Tom.
we need to take steps forward instead of walking a few backwards. It's just too much of a risk.
Well, I'm a white American.
Listen here, Lussies. It's funny how people in the Fitzgerald campaign are getting their pussies tight. But let's not forget that I've written a fucking DNC speech endorsing Ethan Fitzgerald, for the record.
We're far from getting our Lucy's tight. We're actually pretty confident in
Yeah, I
our
don't know what you're
chances.
talking
But
about.
Well, I see it tight, Robert.
Well, mine
I
gets
see it
tight. Mine
Tom.
gets tight a lot.
Oh, yeah,
look,
I know. It's tight.
this sounds like a campaign rally, but I'll always get tight when it comes to defending the American people because that's my job. It's my
All right,
plan.
Kay.
Objection.
That's enough.
Objection.
Kay.
Objection. You're from Australia, not America.
John, you're gonna live under a
Oh.
bridge smoking drugs for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
You're gonna OD
because I
at
don't
20.
live
Wrong chat.
in nowhere.
KJ,
At least I don't live in Big Spider, Australia. Jesus.
Oh.
At least I don't live
I
in
have
the
not
middle
seen
of
a
New
the
Zealand is
spider. I have not
Australia.
seen a spider bigger
Okay,
than my hand.
I have a new topic.
Yeah, because
I
you're
wanna bring up.
blind.
All right.
Hi, Steven.
You don't
Okay.
have vision.
I was waiting for it.
Okay.
I
All right.
Did you mean to
Okay,
press the
Kay,
volume?
I have a new topic.
Okay,
I
no,
have to say
I
this.
will be
Hold
introducing
on,
my
I'm
topic.
the head moderator.
let's-
I am Whoopi
let's,
Goldberg.
We will be talking
I am
about
Whoopi
Mars.
Goldberg. Hold on.
Let's
Just
talk-
real
let's
quick.
talk
We'll be
about,
talking about
This
blind
is like
Stevens
one
and
sentence.
Mars.
let's talk about blind and deaf people.
Okay.
This is like one sentence.
After Robert's topic, I have a question for John.
One sentence.
Bro, just ask me now.
Let me say
It
this.
is.
Let me say
Why
this.
haven't you resigned?
Connor Grant.
I don't know
Connor
how to
Grant
spell that
should
word,
be
so I
nowhere
can't.
near the Caesarea State House. Period. Epidelli should not have chosen him for lieutenant governor.
Why not? Why not?
Because do you remember when he was governor? He failed and he didn't understand the rules. He
Kenneth
didn't
is only
introduce
defending
any
Connor because
legislation.
Connor
He
sent
didn't
him a
help
dick
the
pic.
We
state
should talk about
whatsoever.
who Andrew's
That
gonna
is
work as
a
his VP.
KJ
Poor
Gibb.
topic.
I have a
I'm
relevant
not
comment.
lying.
That is a good
I'd
idea.
like-
That's a good idea.
I'd
I like
I'd like-
that topic, Ray.
I'd like to make a
Yeah.
statement on this because I have a
Let's just
relevant
talk
comment.
about how Connor Grant sent dick pic to 3
Okay.
people in MEC, including Kenneth.
Yep.
Wrong.
That is completely
Okay.
false.
No,
that
it's
is
not.
very
He sent
completely
one
If
to
I can just
Marty.
ask,
I
I
literally-
want to just convey. I want to
literally
convey.
went
I want to convey
to-
on
Tom.
behalf of
Okay.
Kenneth. On behalf of Kenneth,
Right on.
to John. Kenneth said, he wanted to know. Just we need to get this a little bit heated in here. He said, why is the speaker holding up the vote on the minimum
Wrong.
wage bill
Never
in the
said
House?
that.
Yes, you
I
did.
said-
And I defended
Yes,
the
you
speaker
did.
because
I will
No,
answer.
no. You want to know
Let
what I
John
said?
answer.
I
Hold
said,
on.
I said
You said
this.
something
Hold
close.
Senator,
up.
Something
please.
close.
Hold up. I said this.
Nope.
I said, Robert, excuse me, I'm going to advertise a little bit. for those who are watching, tell John to pass put the $15 minimum wage up for vote in the House.
I
That's
said something
what
close
I
enough.
said.
Okay.
John,
close
respond. John,
hasn't
respond.
the speaker-
John,
I will.
Mr.
I
Speaker,
will
respond.
respond.
Mr. Speaker is going to respond.
Respond! Stop dodging it! Respond!
Whenever
Answer!
there is, I don't. Okay. Whenever
Answer!
there is a
Jacob,
bill
let me
of
speak.
substance, I like to get the opinions of the House
Who
members
cares?
before, I want there to be an actual debate, including on bills that I have written. I have intentionally kept bills that I've written up because I wanted to get the
You wanna
opinion of
bad
someone
debate.
before I put it up for a vote.
As we
Who else
Given
is
should.
barred?
given that this is such a massive progressive policy, which I applaud you for, and I plan on voting A, I just want to make sure
Boo.
that it is actually going to pass before I put it up. How embarrassing would it be if I rushed it to vote and then it failed? Given the
Ready?
demographics of the House that I'm
That'd be kinda
presiding over,
funny.
I think that could happen very easily. And so I do want to
It
get
should.
the opinions of everyone, and I want to discuss with people who may disagree on that policy.
Like Infinite.
That is a very measured and respectful, honest,
Robert, stop sucking his
and
dick.
Okay,
leadership
Robert.
answer. That is the type of politics we need in this community, and we don't need any more of your kind of politics. Ben, what were you going to say?
Uh, I was gonna make a comment
Hey,
about Connor Grant.
Robert, DM me later after this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
You know it.
Okay, let's kick off some.
Okay.
Let's kick off some.
Robert Leary is such a daddy. That's good. He's such a
Ben,
daddy.
go ahead. Everyone else stop. Ben McKay.
Okay, so
Future
No,
POTUS
you
Ben
were talking-
McKay.
yeah,
Never.
Future Army
you-
soldier Ben McKay is about to
He's
say
a
something.
future U.S.
Future
Army
US
veteran.
Army.
Well, I believe under you.
Future
current-
U.S. Army General Stephen Bryant.
I
He's
believe
dead.
under the
Current-
U.S.
current-
Constitution,
Stop.
foreigners
Stop.
are
Okay,
not
that's
allowed
enough.
to be president.
We had our
Anyways.
moment of fun, guys.
True, no fun. Illegal,
Ben,
illegal.
go ahead.
Illegal.
You gotta
Potatoes
just
in
talk
there.
loud, Ben. You gotta just talk loud.
Okay, yeah, well, I just personally want to say, fun, illegal, Robert won't let it happen, okay?
Fun,
But-
illegal,
that's-
raising potatoes, America.
Never. But but secondly, yeah, Connor Grant. I'm not a fan of that pick.
Yeah, no.
I specifically in Caesarea bought a house in New Jersey to run in District 2 for state senate to get rid of Connor Grant from the state senate because he kept voting for abortion restricting bills, which were friggin' stupid. But anyway, so I
totally
I mean,
agree.
I
And
guess
if we wanted to just talk
it's
about
not much of
something,
a step down. It's not much more of a step down from his previous pick, Irish Pennsylvania, either. I mean,
well, I mean, it's not much
I
of a
think-
step
I think we
down from the
just-
top of the ticket either.
I mean,
I gotta
then
tell
again,
you.
I
you're
like
right there.
Epidelli.
I don't have
I
super
don't.
problems with
I'm not a fan of
Epidelli, but I
that.
don't think he should be governor of the state.
I liked
Margaret
Epidelli
Thatcher.
until he decided to let an election take precedence over friendship. So you know.
Okay,
Well,
but
Margaret Thatcher,
Ray had a good
so.
issue for a topic, so I'm going to change the topic of discussion a little bit.
The female.
I'm going to change the topic of discussion a
Okay.
little bit. Andrew
Ray is a
Dominguez is
female.
VP.
Illegal
as,
immigration.
As was
Raya,
mentioned,
your name.
mentioned,
That was
Mayowa
the topic I was
Olabo
gonna
can
bring
no
up, but
longer
anyways.
be the vice president of Andrew Dominguez. Who do you think he's going to pick, or
Oh,
who
it's
would
deep
be a
states.
good replacement for
He'll pick
Harry
Ricky.
Crosby.
He'll pick Ricky.
He'll pick
My,
James
yeah,
Wade.
I was gonna
James
say
Tyatt.
my answers for those are two different questions, and I have different answers for them. Who do I think, and who do I hope?
Right, those are the questions.
Okay.
Well, not
so,
who that you hope, who you think would be
or
best.
who
for
do
him.
I think would be best for him? Yeah.
There's
mhm.
Roman.
I think. Well, I mean,
I don't think Roman's going to be beat.
yeah, I don't think Roman would do it, but I think Ricky is probably the person I think he's gonna pick because Ricky wants it.
Ricky wants
That's no
what?
secret.
And
He wants that Hispanic dude.
I mean, he's a loyal Andrew supporter, so
And
I
we
mean,
know what happens to every
whatever.
presidential campaign. Ricky has been vice president.
They
Look,
failed.
if Ricky, look, I'll do this now. Ricky, if you're the running mate, I publicly challenge you to a debate.
Okay,
That would be
regardless,
fun.
regardless of if it's Ricky though or not,
Whoever the running mate is, I challenge you to a debate.
who I think he should be considering would be like a Harry Crosby or like Roman. I don't think Roman will do it, but like I think that Harry is
You
probably
copied
his best
me?
option.
I don't think Harry will do it either, but I think Harry's a principled pick. I like Harry. He's a nice person.
Yeah, I
He's
like
a principled
Harry as
pick.
well.
But I think in terms of who would be best for Mayowa to win, I'm sorry,
Andrew. Okay.
Andrew to win, who'd be best for Andrew to win. I think
I
he's
think
got
he
the
need-
Republican support almost down
Yeah.
on lock. I mean, Aaron's making invasions there, but I think he can't just win off of Republican support. He's going to need to bridge over to some Democrats, and I think that's why he saw that when he picked Mayowa. He thought, I can get some progressive votes if I go with Mayowa, and so he picked Mayowa, and it was a good choice by him. And so he tried to get some progressive votes there, and I think he'd want to do the same thing, but I think Mayowa was really his only option that would be willing to agree to be VP. So I think it's either, I think if I have to say, I think my top two would either I think he's going to pick either Ricky or Harry Crosby, but his best choices would be, if he had to pick someone from the Republican side, Harry or Roman or some other Democrat that he thinks would be reasonable.
I
disagree.
have an opinion.
I disagree with the assessment. Before
Don't say
John
James
interrupt-
Harknett.
No, before John.
No.
I
know who's gonna pick already.
I don't think.
Say it live.
that-
Say it live on the View.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know who he's gonna pick. He's gonna pick me.
Okay.
And I said yes.
Hey, get out of here, Jonna. I would take back
Okay.
everything I just said. Ben,
No,
go
but
ahead.
But would be like, this is actually a disgusting politician bringing this.
I would
No, I
actually,
did it by accident.
I would
No,
literally
I did it
change
by
my mind
accident.
so hard. I would do a 180. I'd be like, John
No, I
needs to
did
be
it. It was
removed from the
accident.
Democratic Party this instant.
Anyways,
I
go
felt
ahead, Wes.
bad because he misspelled everything he said. I felt bad, so I just said yes.
anyways.
I mean, I have it from inside sources that he did offer Harry Crosby the running mate position before he gave it to Mayowa, but
I will.
yeah, I think
Insiders-
Harry Crosby said
I-
no, obviously.
I
Didn't
will
he
say
say that
or
in
at
the
least
chat?
I think, or that he was at least considered. Pretty
I
sure he
will-
was offered it, but
I will say this as someone who has ran for president with Harry Crosby on my ticket. I can tell you one thing: Harry's not going to be getting on any ticket that he thinks is going to lose.
That's true.
And
Harry's a
if he
respectable
thinks-
guy.
Yes, but Harry's a respectable guy, but he's also a smart guy. And if he thinks that Andrew is cruising for a bruising on Friday,
Oh.
he's not going to be joining his ticket. I can guarantee you that.
I would love to see the
if he-
internal campaign talks of the Dominguez campaign right now, if there are any going
I
on.
mean, I think
I think if
yeah,
he
well,
offers
this
it to
is the
Ricky, Ricky would
thing.
say yes before you can,
Yeah.
before you can jump. But
We would already know if
I
it
think
was
it'll
offered to Ricky.
be Ricky.
That opinion will swing so.
Oh, do not.
Kenneth.
Imagine if he picks Kenneth.
I would deny that shit so quick. Like,
No, but like
I'm like, oh,
I am.
something
No,
that
no,
Andrew-
no,
Andrew,
no, no,
Andrew,
no.
I gotta tell you, I'm
He's
gonna
gonna-
make this
Wait, let
thing
me
right
throw out
now.
an idea. Let me
He's
throw out
gonna
an
pick
idea.
one I cannot
Don't yell at me when I
say,
say so. Let me throw out an idea that he might consider picking. Ready? Hold on to your wigs. San Martinez.
Bruh.
I believe it's with a heavy heart that I have to ban us those two individuals.
Andrew, if you want a vice president, I'm here, buddy. I'm here. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, why did you say that you were gonna do a complete 180 on me? But
If
then,
Face bitch.
If you supported Andrew,
Oh.
I would have. That's what I'm saying.
but you just.
That was a joke. I'm not actually gonna be Andrew's vice president.
Oh, you were joking. I didn't.
I would only be Andrew's
realize.
vice
Oh my
president
goodness.
25th Amendment him. I'm kidding.
Wait,
that
can
was a
someone do
joke.
that?
That was a
Wait.
joke.
Wait, if I do that, would y'all be mad at me?
No.
Hang on, I'm
I can do that.
Tom, you got some
No, I'm
experience
a-
in that, don't you?
Sorry, Fitz.
Ouch.
What if it's? No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to Fitz. But
Period.
what if it's? What if it's Dominguez Stevens?
Whoa.
I think I would
actually
rather
kind of want
endorse
that to happen.
ticket because I think I'll vote for Stephen Bryan over anyone.
No. Chase Stevens.
If it's Stephen Bryan, I mean,
If it's Stephen Bryan, I would actually fucking. I don't even know what I would do.
which
I
Democrats
think
are
they'll
supporting?
win.
Let's have a look.
Win.
Which Democrats are supporting Andrew Dominguez?
Me.
True.
See, you just said
I'm
it right
kidding.
there, you bitch.
See, this is why I'm suing.
I'm supporting Boundless Adam.
True.
True, I agree.
I just had an idea of who he picked. But I'm not going to say it because I don't want him to pick them. I don't want to give him any ideas.
PM it, Tom. I won't say it. I just want to know who it is.
I'll tell you in a call later.
No, PM me now.
Good.
No.
How about
Brett
Brett?
Patrick? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, probably something like that.
No, it wasn't Brett Patrick. It was something else. But
I think
Arm-
Brett
I mean,
Patrick
I
will
like-
also
I don't
be
think
smart
I
enough.
don't think Brett would. I don't think Brett would accept. But I think Brett is a very, very principled guy.
You know that Brett's
I
gearing up
wouldn't-
for another presidential campaign too.
I mean, all I know is Brett's undecided this election, but I don't think he would accept Andrew's running mate offer. But
Wouldn't
that's
be
up to
so
him,
sure
and I'd
about
respect any choice he made.
Well, I think he's undecided in this election. I'm just saying. I think he's probably gonna run.
Who?
Raimundo, do you ever intend on running for president?
No.
Yeah,
Raimundo
that
could have
sounded
been,
really confident.
Raimundo could have been president like 6 times.
He also could have been
Alright.
D1 representative in the last election, but he was like, too much work. Release one rally, too much work.
We want Gaga Venus.
It is
instead.
actually.
Yeah, Gaga
Sophia
Venus is vice
Bennett.
president.
Yeah, we want Sophia Bennett.
I mean, when
Speaking
my
speaking of the
Can
Democratic
Sophia Bennett
Party-
drop out, Robert?
Can't beat an alt. Too hard.
Too hard. No, I just want the Democratic Party to re-endorse me. 'Cause I think I'm fighting for. The
Yeah, that's a
Democratic
good
Party.
idea.
Well,
Watch the debate.
as
Yes,
DNC
okay,
chair-
Robert. We'll endorse James Hyatt. Good
As,
idea.
as
Yeah,
DNC,
true.
okay.
Okay, looks like
As
I'm joining
DNC
the
chair.
Republicans.
Okay. As DNC chair, all I'll say is it's going to be up to the General Assembly
Okay, well,
as to who we're endorsing.
You know the moderate.
But the
General
leadership, the
Assembly's
leadership
gonna-
have
but
have advocated for a particular candidate.
yes, that's what I
Who
will
is,
say.
who is in the General Assembly?
A brain
God, I
tumor.
don't know.
I will advocate
don't even
because
know.
I know the following ruling of that.
No, John. I thought that was the leadership.
Oh yeah, no, he listens to the brain tumor. That's where he gets all
True.
his stories.
All right.
John McCain.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
Okay.
John McCain is not a hero. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. But I'm
I
also.
feel bad
Spokesperson
for
by
John
President
McCain.
Trump.
John McCain, like he is a real like he spent all that time like in Vietnam, getting tortured, and now he's getting ass raped by Satan.
Oh, no, that's this is live.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You have a tendency to do that, don't you, John?
Well, no, he's in heaven. He's in heaven because
Because I don't think.
I have a discussion. Is Kim Jong-un going to heaven or hell?
oh he's going to purgatory.
Yeah, I think he has a special place for him. I don't know
Right
if he's
next
Well,
to,
no, he'd want to go to hell. He'd want to go to
I feel
hell.
like
'cause
I
of,
feel like if Kim
Osama.
I
Jong
feel like he would. He'd like establish like a military dictatorship over
He
hell.
wants to hang out in hell with Osama and with his dad.
hold
And
on.
with Hitler.
I just looked up the news for Kim
Yeah,
Jong-un. There
and
isn't much.
I don't think there has been much. They're not saying
and with
much.
Michael
Okay,
Jackson.
Okay. Let's say this.
Hey.
What are the odds? Okay. I'll go through one by one. What are the odds that Kim Jong? Do you think that Kim Jong-un is dead or dying, John?
He's 100% dying. I don't think he's dead.
Kenneth,
Like I don't think it's. I think his heart's
just yes or
beating.
no. Do you think he is
Okay,
dead
but I
or
have an
dying?
explanation.
I don't think
I have an
he's
explanation.
The
Tom.
motherfucker's gonna die. His bitch ass sister's gonna take
Okay,
power.
Tom.
Okay, I think he's
The sister
either
is
dead or
not going
dying.
to take power.
Because if
Yeah, she is.
I think he's either dead or
Silence.
dying. I think he's either dead or dying. Because if he wasn't, then like why wouldn't they just like make him do a public appearance to dispel with the rumors? It's like not hard. He could just stand in a balcony and wave
Exactly.
at some people for like 5 minutes, and it wouldn't
Well,
be all
I
over.
think he's
but,
probably sick, but I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's
I agree
brain
with
dead
Robert.
though. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I think we would know.
maybe
if
he's in a
brain
coma.
dead. We would because they have satellite imagery of Pyongyang and the palace and stuff. So the intelligence would know that there was movement at the palace if he was brain dead. The Kim Jong Un sister
Maybe
would be
he's not at
moved
the
around
palace.
or something like that. I don't know if it's the sister. I think even though she's the closest aide to Kim Jong Un, I think it might be someone else that we just don't know.
I don't think they'll
Yeah.
make
It-
the
it
sister.
has
I don't
to-
think they'll get. I don't think they'll let the sister do it because she's a woman.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. I think
No,
that's,
it
I think that's a
has-
big part of it. But
It
I
has to be someone related to Kim Il Sung though. Like they won't
Mhm.
have
Well,
anyone else.
it's not going to be the brother because he's dead, or the brother's young
Yeah, there's
son.
another brother in the U.S.
No, I think there's another brother. I think.
But I think
No,
he's like a
I think
traitor at this
there's only
point.
two because there's Kim Il Sung and then Kim Jong Il, right? Kim Jong Il and then Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Il had Kim Jong Un and then Kim Jong Un's brother,
He had
who
Kim
Kim
Jong
Jong Un
Nam
killed.
and then someone else.
Kim Jong Nam, and Kim Jong Nam was supposedly
Yeah.
killed by Un. But Nam has a son who's the nephew of Un, and he's called
Yeah,
Kim Jong Un a
he's super
dictator.
Western though. Yeah.
He's called his
Like
uncle a
that's just
dictator.
not happening.
It's not happening at all.
Well, no, this Kim Jong Chul. Is he dead?
The fuck?
I'm pretty sure he's dead. I think Kim Jong Un is the only living son.
No, he's alive. He's alive. He's 38.
The thing is, though, like
Look at the
I
family.
understand what I understand what John was saying, and I'm not saying that I think it'll be the sister if it's going to be anybody. But regardless, there is a stark possibility that the military will just say, okay, we're just not gonna go for any of you guys, and we're putting in a new head. But
then that'll be hard to do because the entire country's been brainwashed into believing that this family is God. And
I think Ben
yes,
is right.
I
think
know.
either way, though,
but
it's still a
saying,
military
I'm not
dictatorship.
saying that it's. I'm not. Yes, I'm not saying
there could be a civil war.
I think that the likeliest. No, I don't think that'll happen. I think that the
well,
likeliest
if the
situation.
military generals try and take control, and then
I
like
think
the
If there's a
sister or
civil
someone
war,
from the
if
Kim
there's
family.
a civil war, it'll be between someone in the Kim family. It'll be either like factions. It'll be factions or leadership fighting, not ideologies. That'll be the civil war.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be the Kim family versus like military generals that want to take
something
power.
like that, or like someone in the two people in the Kim family is a potential too. But I don't think
If North Korea goes to a civil war, I think North Korea is probably they want their days are numbered.
I don't think Kim Jong.
If the military tries to take over.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that the military could try to take over. I think
They're gonna have
but
a
if they
member
try
of the
that,
Kim family as a
if they-
puppet though.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but
Like,
when
I think-
puppets, when puppets are installed, they don't really want to stay puppets for long. I feel like.
Well, I mean, Kim Jong Un is really a puppet of.
He's not a puppet, really.
He's
No, he's
probably
not.
a
He
puppet.
kills his own generals.
He kills his general.
Yeah,
he
kills
got
his
rid of
family.
so many.
He's
I
not a puppet.
guarantee you that his personal secretary, probably someone we don't even know, is actually no one.
Or
in
his
the,
wife.
No one
She
in
gets
the-
like no media attention. His wife gets like no attention. She could be something.
It could be a
I
Nancy
guarantee
Reagan.
you, he's calling
Because
the
Nancy
shots.
Reagan was president. That's what her that's what the speculation was that Nancy Reagan.
So was Michelle
president.
Obama.
No,
Yeah,
don't
I
think
mean,
that's true, but
the bottom line.
was a
So
joke,
was
yeah.
John
from
McCain's
church.
brain tumor ran the 08 campaign.
Okay.
Okay.
why else would he pick Sarah Palin? Please explain.
John, you're
Okay.
That's what
John,
I
you're
was saying.
John, you're honestly hilarious. I'm rolling on the floor. I can't breathe. Please call me.
You know what else
I'm
is?
dying.
You know what else is?
Wait, Kim Jong Un
hilarious?
has a daughter as well, but she's 7.
No way he would. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Anyways, let's go to another topic.
Well,
Donald Trump.
where has Biden been?
Joe Biden.
Because honestly,
He
these live streams are not gonna do it for him.
I mean, what else can he do though?
National TV interviews. He has to get on.
He has been.
Live.
He's been doing them with NBC. I saw him on CNN
Yeah,
with
but he's doing
with
softball
Anderson
interviews
Cooper.
though. He has to do fiery interviews. He has to show that he's committed.
I agree.
I saw a poll. 28% of people trust Biden's response to the COVID-19 thing. That was on MSNBC.
Right, but then if you compare that to Trump, his numbers are up.
No,
pretty big.
Trump was like 40%.
No,
I don't know what polls you're
I've seen
looking
like
at,
multiple
but
polls
that's
that say
not
who do
right.
you trust more to deal with the coronavirus, Trump or Biden, and Biden's up by like at least 5 in like a lot
Well,
of them.
I actually have an idea for how Biden can eat at Trump's base.
Go ahead.
They just need to make an ad about how about all those times that Biden worked with Strom Thurmond. I think that would really help help Biden's.
Trump wishes Kim Jong
I
Un
think
well and reports
Biden
of
should
health
play.
scare.
Biden should play the ad of him, the soundbite of him saying that we need to unilaterally strike North Korea. I think this moment in time would be a good time
Yeah,
to play
that'd
that.
be great.
Stacey Abrams is trying to box Joe Biden into picking her as his running mate by playing
Yeah,
If there's
yeah,
stories,
literally.
if I tell you, if there's stories on
the
the
social
campaign,
justice card.
if Biden is
I don't
saying
like
Biden is
Stacey
saying, I saw
Abrams.
a story saying that Biden said he's not committing to pick a black woman VP. I think if he's saying that, he's probably not going to pick a black woman VP.
Either that
think
or he
it's
doesn't
I
have
think
the
it's going to be.
money to.
I think it's either going to be Elizabeth Warren or Gretchen Whitmer.
It's going to be Warren.
I think it's going to be Grit.
CNN
I
is
think
urging
Warren is the most likely one.
CNN is urging Joe to pick Whitmer.
I think that the best
While the
choice.
Well, I think
Washington
Whitmer has a real
Post,
shot at it.
Washington Post, I believe, was pushing for Amy.
Ugh, do not pick Amy Klobuchar.
No,
No,
Amy
he's
would
not
be
No,
gonna
back.
pick
no,
Amy.
no, no. I take that back. I take that back. The Washington Post was saying why Joe Biden should pick Tammy Baldwin. There we go.
That would
My
be
bad.
decent.
She's too
Good.
low profile. He's not going to pick Tammy Baldwin. It's not going to happen.
Well, that's good.
He
No,
wants
I feel
I
someone
like
that
think
she's
it's
more
isn't.
famous than Pence
Had
was.
20
I'd
years
rather
in
someone
government.
I'd rather somebody who's low profile than a lightning rod.
Exactly.
Like I'd rather.
Well, I mean, like
think
Elizabeth
that
Warren isn't a
for that
lightning
for
I
rod.
mean,
She's
Mike
completely
yes,
qualified to be
Mike
vice
fucking
Pence.
president.
is. Yes,
Mike
she
Pence
is.
was like
For
not even
conservatives,
known.
you
Like
think that she's not a lightning rod? Are you out of your
Tammy
mind?
Baldwin would do any better than Elizabeth Warren with conservatives. I do not. I think she.
Probably,
No, but
'cause-
that's not.
well, she had.
But that's
The thing is, when
I'm
you run a
not saying
presidential
that.
campaign,
I'm not
when
saying.
you run a presidential
Okay,
campaign,
Tom.
and especially like Elizabeth Warren, who had so much media attention, was considered a real front runner.
I don't
Your
necessarily.
record gets completely devolved. You become a target because you ran for president. Like, sure,
Exactly.
Tammy Baldwin will become a target, obviously, but she hasn't.
she's a
She won't be
lesbian.
given the same type of treatment as Elizabeth Warren did because she was running for the top job and she was,
I don't
attacked as
necessarily
if she
want it
was
to be
going to be the
Elizabeth Warren.
nominee.
I hope you're right. I don't want it to be Elizabeth Warren. I think he would lose if he chose Elizabeth Warren, but I think that's who it's going to be.
I'm just saying that I'd rather it be someone who is lower profile or at the very least less of a polarizing figure for conservatives, because there are a lot of moderates and independents who are going to be looking at the tickets, and it happened in 2008, and if they see someone who they like the person at the top of the ticket, but they can't commit to voting for it because they're worried of what would happen if this person in second place became president, then they're just not going to vote for that ticket. It happened with John McCain in 2008. It happened, we see this happening through. We see that we see this happening. We've seen this happen throughout history, and I don't think that it's a good idea to be going and putting forward someone that everyone is going to be polarized by. And if it is someone that people are polarized by, it should be someone that they're thinking positively of. And I just don't think that moderates are going to really flock to Elizabeth Warren or I don't think that independents who could go either way are going to really flock towards Elizabeth Warren.
Next Friday, Biden is going to be announcing the selection committee for who he's going to be choosing for vice president. So we'll see that next Friday.
On May
Watch
1st.
Barack Obama be on it.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Barack Obama will probably lead it.
Or Michelle. That would just fuel speculation.
If it's
Michelle is,
Michelle Obama, oh my God.
Michelle is set to endorse Joe Biden in the coming days or weeks.
True that. You know what's interesting? Why hasn't Hillary Clinton endorsed Joe Biden yet?
She will.
Obviously she will.
She's gonna run as an independent.
He probably told her not to.
Yeah, but you would want her to, if you wanted to have the
You should endorse him and then shut up for the rest of the entire campaign.
If you'd want the endorsement to have less impact, she should have endorsed him after Super Tuesday when it was clear he was the nominee. Boom, right there. Endorse him, get
Or
it over
just
with,
not
do it.
endorse him at all.
Well, that would be a bad thing. It would show that then people would just speculate that Hillary Clinton thinks that he's not a good enough
A
candidate
low
to
key
take the mantle.
profile endorsement. If she went on,
Put out a tweet.
if
and
she
then
went
you're
on,
done.
yeah,
Put out a
exactly.
tweet, do one morning show.
Well, that's
And
not a
Trump
real
be like,
endorsement. That's like
Put out a
Joe
tweet and come on
Biden
the
has been endorsed by
put
crooked
out a tweet and
Hillary.
come on the View, and then shut
The
up for
View
the
is
rest of the
too much.
campaign.
Just do like Good Morning America. The View would be like go viral probably.
Ain't true.
She was going
yeah,
on some
but
like,
anyways, like Hillary should like, with all due respect, I have a lot of respect for Hillary Clinton and everything that she's done. But the bottom line is this: she is too much of a
She's
polarizing
toxic.
figure, and she is the Republicans have completely
Destroyed her record.
yeah, she should just go away for a bit.
don't you disrespect my queen like that, you pathetic piece of shit.
I'm not saying forever. I'm just saying for this election.
Just a few months.
Yeah,
She's got plenty. She's got
it's too
plenty of
raw in
money.
people's
Plenty of she's got a nice house. She's
I
She
think in
fine.
the
could do a lot
future,
behind
I
the
think in the
scenes.
future the Democratic Party should probably move away from people that are okay with bombing children with
Okay, Robert.
unsuccessful drone programs. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I think that's a sensible policy.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody is advocating for that, but
No, Hillary Clinton advocated for it. She was a war hawk in the campaign.
yeah, but
I heard.
that's not what she didn't. You're mischaracterizing what she's saying. Yes, she advocated for the use
No,
of drones,
she
but
said
she
she would
didn't.
continue the drone
She didn't
program.
advocate for the. Yes, but she didn't say specifically, like you said, that she said that I'm advocating for the droning of children. That's a bit of an excessive
Okay, but
statement.
that's the consequence
It's
of
the
the policy. No matter no matter how you put it, that's the consequence of the drone program that she
I'm
said
not.
she would
I'm not
continue.
disagreeing with you, but that's not what I'm saying. But you're mischaracterizing what
Well,
she
have
said.
faith. Drone strikes are no longer allowed in MEC. Thank you, David Delaney.
We should bring that
Adam
back.
is actually allowing missile strikes and all those other shit besides nuclear weapons.
Someone should
Well,
missile
no, drone strikes
strikes.
was banned by David Delaney in his executive order when he became president.
Okay,
Well, not banned, but it was
if it's an
taken
executive
out of
order, then
official
someone
use
can just do that over
policy.
again.
That's why you don't elect someone like I don't know. I'm not gonna name names.
Time
We all know who you're talking about, though.
to present a resolution to overturn that.
Surprised Chase didn't. Oh, he probably would have if he knew it was a thing.
Hey Chase, if you just do this one thing, you can bomb whatever country you want to. Really?
Ben be handing over the executive order with a smile.
Okay.
Ben's
I knew that
part
would
of the
get you.
Chase Stevens administration. Ben colluding in the background of the Stevens administration to take him down. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You were neutral that entire time.
Oh my lord.
Well, Bryson Pittman will be joining the View table in a few minutes.
Oh, I'm excited. We held out till Bryson.
We bring
got
up
here.
Chase Stevens just
I
at
want
the
to
right
ask
time.
him about something.
About what?
I want to ask him about a little something. When he was running against me, he promised the American people that I would be inactive. I'm now
That's
about
true.
to win my third term.
That's true.
So
And
I
you're
want to ask
speaker
him.
now.
Don't jinx it, John. Don't jinx it.
Yeah, don't jinx it. Write-ins could win.
Infinite could come back to your district and beat you by 70 points.
I'm scared that I could lose to Infinite Kid.
Because everyone's just meme vote for him.
Maybe someone's like, everyone will just be like, oh, no one else is gonna do this, and then just votes for Infinite Kid for first preference. And then I end up like Infinite gets like 90% of the vote or something like that.
Me giving Sophia Bennett my first.
Me dropping out supporting Sophia Bennett.
Okay.
New
Can we
Zealand
all
Wi-Fi.
remember the days when Michael Bloomberg wasn't a presidential candidate and said he wasn't going to run? And like Tom Steyer, remember Tom Steyer? Who else? Who else was a presidential candidate before we forgot?
I used to hate Tom Steyer
I don't
And then I
really.
saw his campaign, and I genuinely liked his issues. And
And then you supported him wholeheartedly.
Tom Steyer is definitely one of the better candidates.
And then you were like, Daddy, I'll make you president.
Steve Bullock.
Is the live stream even still going on?
Yeah.
Why
Steve Bullock objectively ran a bad
are we
campaign.
discussing like election things?
Well, if you didn't.
It wasn't.
No, you know who
It wasn't his
objectively
fault,
ran a
but-
bad campaign? Tulsi Gabbard.
Thank you. What a nasty woman.
She made it down to the final three.
I
How
don't
dare
think she-
you?
I
Give
don't
her,
think she's
the
a
peak
nasty
of her
woman.
campaign was
She made it to the final three. True.
What a queen.
She
No.
she made
No,
it to top
I mean-
3. She should have just stayed until
mean-
Bernie dropped out so she could be top 2.
That's what
I
John
like how-
Kasich did.
I like how even after she became one of the 3 candidates remaining, she was still getting beaten by candidates who had already dropped out.
Right, like Tom Steyer and Pete Buttigieg were still beating her in states. Like she's like, even though she was the third and only other candidate in the race, she was still getting like 7th in every election.
Like, Tulsi Gabbard is... The thing is, she's normally on most issues, like, a progressive. But then she gets on these some stupid fucking issues. I apologize, I don't know if I'm supposed to
Like
curse or not.
Syria, she
Like,
supports Bashar al-Assad.
No, okay, no, I'm not. If you want to get into that debate, Robert, we can get into that debate. But anybody who goes,
No, I agree with you.
and
She supports
wants-
Bashar al-Assad.
anybody who goes and speaks with Bashar al-Assad as a
Anybody who talks
congressperson
to Kim
and
Jong-un
thinks
is
that
a
Why
they're-
is this relevant?
because me and Robert got into a debate on this one time. But anyways, besides the point, the main point is sometimes she gets on these dumb issues.
Robert, stop negotiating with terrorists.
And
Robert,
she,
you're a
okay,
fucking
Tom.
traitor.
Okay, I definitely said that. But anyways, sometimes she gets on these issues, like the impeachment thing, and she just turns into a fucking moron, basically.
See, this is why AOC needs to be out of Congress.
She's a queen. Don't you disrespect
I
her.
like AOC, actually.
I just don't like any of the issues she supports.
Like what?
Okay. Well, you don't support Medicare for all, or
Me?
she would agree with what I said with the drone strike program too. Free public college.
Do you say I don't support Medicare for all?
Yes. You
I
argued
support
against
Medicare
it.
for all.
What?
No, I didn't. I argued against free college. I support Medicare for all. I'm in Canada. What do you mean?
I mistook you for Bryson
Yeah, I
Pittman.
guess
My
so.
bad. Because you made.
Well, I guess I was so
kind of the
I was
same
so
kind of
confused for a
arguments.
second. Anyways, regardless.
I hate
I mean,
Diamond and Silk so much.
Diamond and Silk are fire. What are you talking about?
Okay, Robert's a Trump supporter confirmed.
What if I was? What would be the
Certainly.
problem with that?
Oh,
He's an
Robert,
idiot and a
then
liar.
you would support racism.
I would be a racist
Yes,
if
I
I
just said
supported
that.
Trump.
No, you would support racism.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Name one racist thing.
'Cause
about
Trump's a
Donald Trump.
racist.
Name one racist thing.
Well, his policies for
I
us
can.
Okay, but
I
what
can
policy?
name,
He kicked black
one
people out of
racist
his
policy.
hotel.
African American communities. His governors, like
No, no, no.
Brian Kemp,
Not racist
literally,
thing he's done in the past in the presidency.
Okay, well,
he has
the Muslim
supported
ban.
governors like Brian Kemp, making it harder for African Americans to vote so that Republicans can win elections.
He threw paper towels at Hispanics, acting like that's something we need.
They were
I wouldn't call that racist.
in that
but
room.
anyway.
Okay, well that I actually agree with. Like no shit, I agree with Trump in that. Then in that room they were like he was just playing the crowd. What is he gonna do? Hand out the fucking things to everyone? That's what they were doing when they left. They were gonna hand out the paper towels. Just still having a little fun. I think that's no problem whatsoever. That's just a little partisan issue. Like if Obama had done
He
the same
called
thing,
he called countries shithole countries.
I don't
Targeted
actually
mainly Muslim
think Trump isn't a
countries
racist. I
as
agree with
terrorists.
I agree with everything you're saying, but I disagree with the paper towel thing.
You know who you
I
sound
don't
like
know.
right
I don't
now?
know if he's intentionally racist.
You know who you sound like right
I'm
now,
sort of.
Robert?
Oh,
I'm
he's
on his side
intentionally
of that.
racist.
He surrounds himself with racists,
No,
and
I
by
actually,
extent, his policy is
I don't,
racist.
I don't think
Supports
he's smart enough to
racism.
really be racist. I think he's one of those people that's like, I'm not racist. I don't know what you're talking about, but he just doesn't know what racist actually
I'm not
is.
racist. My Secretary of Housing and Urban Development's black.
You know
Yeah,
what?
but
You know who you sound like now, Robert? Love him to death, but he's who you sound like. Chase Stevens. You sound like you're making a Chase Stevens argument right now. And
I'm
I love
making a
Chase,
Chase
one of
Stevens
my good
argument
friends,
for
but you
saying that
sound
Love
like
him
Donald
to
Trump
Chase
isn't a
making that
really,
horrible
Ben.
person
argument.
for
Ben, love
throwing
him to
paper
death.
towels
I
at
mean,
people.
you
I,
do
I mean,
you,
again,
he's a
I
good
but I'm
think
not loving
friend.
that thing to death.
I think he's a horrible
He's
person.
a friend,
I think he's a
but
I think he's a war criminal. I just don't think he's.
He's
Actually, I
I'm
was
racist.
I'm
gonna
not
say
Love
saying
it.
I was gonna
I'm
say
not saying you're
something.
a Trump supporter.
I was
I'm
gonna
just
say
saying that
something, but
argument
I'm not going to
is
because
something that
you're just gonna
sounds like
get all pissy about it.
well, I mean, I'm not. If you want to say something, go ahead and say it. I don't care.
No,
I'm
no,
just saying that.
it would just be an
Well,
argument.
I'm not afraid to have an argument. Robert, you should know that better than anyone.
I just don't want to, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
But can we talk about the fact that there's a literal global depression going on right now, and no one's talking about that in mainstream news?
Okay. All right. Celery. Okay. That's green though, isn't it? Isn't that green? Yeah, I know you could do it. So
Kamala Harris and Mark Warner win live making a sandwich. Okay. Thank you.
Luther and I and everyone in this arena tonight are unified by the same great American values. We're proud of our country. We respect our flag. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners when somebody disrespects our flag? Just say, get that son of a
Get
bitch
that
off
son
the
of a
field
bitch off
right
the
now.
field right
He's
now.
fired.
That's
he's
his
fired.
boss.
He's fired.
Okay,
Fired.
out of the context, it's funny. He's being a funny person. You cannot get outraged at everything. Obviously, it's horrible what he's doing, but at a certain point, you can't do anything about that. He's just gonna keep doing it. So just.
But
all
at
you
a
got-
certain point, you also need to draw a line and say that's too far.
Of course,
but I mean,
and if you were
there's
in
a
a
difference
position,
between
and if you were in
funny
a,
and amusing.
if you were in a
It's
position,
it's amusing to watch him do it, but it's not funny what he's saying.
if you were in a position of power, I would think differently. Like obviously oppose that, but we're
What
teenagers. We don't
what
have
Trump's
to. We don't have to. Like if someone
what Trump
thinks it's
says
funny, I don't think that's a problem.
what Trump says isn't funny. It's how he says it that's funny.
Obviously,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
once
Barack
again,
Obama went up
there's a
and
difference
said, "Get
between
that son of a
amusing.
bitch off the field." No one would laugh. They'd just be like, "What?" It's the way he says.
No,
these
I would
things.
laugh my ass off if I heard Barack Obama go, "Get that son of a bitch off the field." And he was just like,
Right, but it wouldn't come
Adam-
off the same way, would it? As like,
"No,
Trump
of
is
course not."
very
But it would be
different.
funny as fuck if he said it though. Not intentionally, probably, but it would be like just to laugh at him.
Country we're fighting for, and so, my friends, it is with humility, determination, and boundless
What a
confidence
shrill
in
woman.
America's
What a
America's
shrill woman.
promise
that I accept your nomination for president of the United States.
Her lizard.
You know she was
Okay,
the
but
queen.
moving on about Hillary. She's definitely not my favorite.
She's a horrible
That's for
person.
sure. She's not my favorite. She's not my first pick for president. I wouldn't have voted for her in 2016
She's a
as my
gangster.
first choice. But I do not think she's corrupt at all.
She
I
is
mean,
not.
The reason I don't think she's corrupt is Republicans spent nearly 6 years, for a little bit less, multiple investigations, millions of dollars in investigating her. And what did they find?
Benghazi, not her or her.
And her
family,
emails.
whatever.
Well, the emails
Of
were
course, because those are
investigated as well.
fucking non-issues.
Yeah, and they found nothing.
Like anybody
And
who thinks Hillary Clinton is corrupt, I don't know where to start. Like name something specifically. Somebody can't just call her corrupt and not back it up because they just say Benghazi and then okay, well, what did she do that was corrupt in Benghazi? And they looked into it. The Republicans, if they could have found something to sink their teeth into, they would have. But they couldn't, and that's why you only heard Benghazi. You didn't hear anything else said it specifically, and most people who don't even, most average voters don't even understand why Benghazi was important, and that a lot of people
Because
don't
it's
even
not
know what
important.
it is. I know that. I mean, it is important, but it's
important because Republicans made it important.
I mean, I disagree
Are
with
you
that
saying
assessment,
the
but
lives of 4 American soldiers are not important?
Okay, no, that's important, but
well, that's what I mean.
The hope of
that part's
setting out
important.
for
Yes, the lives of those Americans are important.
Hold on, I have a
But
question. I have a question for Ben McKay.
the witch hunting to her is not.
Mhm.
Are you mad at the United States government for the past couple of 12 years-ish since the Bush administration on for talking with the Taliban in Afghanistan, hence negotiating with terrorists?
I
Ben,
don't
take
support
the
that.
stage.
I don't support that.
Even
Just
though
in
it's
short.
actually kind of brought peace to Afghanistan
of
and
a young naval lieutenant
has brought us a
bravely
path
I mean,
to ending the
patrolling
war.
the Mekong
There's
Delta.
a
The
difference
hope of a
between,
mill worker's son who dares to
regardless,
defy the odds.
Robert,
The
if you
hope
want
of
to
a
start this
skinny kid
argument
I'm just
up,
with a
kidding.
then you
funny name
can.
But it's
who
true.
believes
But
that America has a place for him
What about
too.
like Reagan and the Mujahideen?
Reagan can go to hell.
Yeah, Reagan is
Oh, Bill Clinton and the
currently
Mujahideen.
burning in hell.
I could say that too. Bush
I
1
mean,
and Mujahideen.
I don't agree with. Once again, I don't agree with the premise of your question.
I would call you Saudi
You're
Arabia a terrorist state
you're
too. Actually, I'm just
you're
messing with you.
equating. I know, but you're
Gotta take it so
mischaracterizing what I'm
seriously.
saying. Well,
No, don't bring up
I'm annoyed
don't bring up the
because
actual argument, please.
no, I won't. But I'm just saying you're equating the position of the president and the presidency, which I don't agree. I can agree that there was a successful president while disagreeing with something that they did. So, just want to make that clear.
I don't think I ever said you couldn't do that. But there were
I know,
only
but
1 million people at Barack Obama's rally. There were
Okay.
22 million people at Donald Trump's inauguration. 20.
there were 7
million.
Listen, there were 9 billion people at my inauguration.
That's physically impossible, Ben. That's not funny.
Listen, there were
Brain tumor is
9.
really taking a toll.
There were 9 billion, and people ask, there's only 7 billion people on planet Earth, so how are the other 2 billion people? How did they get there? Illegals, I don't know.
I don't like Michelle Obama. I gotta be honest with you.
Slaves. And I watched my daughters,
Why?
two beautiful, intelligent black young women.
I don't like the 2004 Democratic debates either. Has anyone else seen those on YouTube? They're terrible.
Yeah, I know.
What debates?
The 2004 debates. Every
They're
candidate
so
sucked.
boring.
Every candidate was horrible.
I haven't seen the 2004 debates.
And the
Also,
2008 debates.
I was rewatching some of the 2008 debates the other day, and Fitzgerald. I think Ethan Fitzgerald was talking to me about this as well as Ben. I think Barack Obama kind of was sexist a little bit in those debates.
That's just
Not
how
even
the
a little
world-
bit, a lot of it.
That's how the world was at that time, though.
Like he was just kind of like, he was different. He was like when Hillary Clinton was like, Hillary was like,
Unlikable Enough clip. Where he's
that
like, "You're
part.
likable
Hillary was
enough,
like,
Hillary."
I'm not.
That
My
clip
husband's not on the stage. I am. He's like, I don't know who I'm running against sometimes. Like, yeah, there's a bit of sexism in there. Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, I kind of agree with Barack Obama in that attack because Bill, if you were there, if you look back in 2008, Bill Clinton was like basically
he was very, very involved.
He was doing rallies every day where he was attacking Barack Obama. He had to respond to that in some way. I think Barack Obama responded to that in the right way for the election at the time.
I mean, I think he could have done it in a bit of less.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen to this queen, guys. This is gonna be very quick. Listen to this queen.
When I was a baby, my family
Oh my Lord.
relied
Listen.
on Planned Parenthood for
I hate
prenatal
this
care.
fucking thing. This is so stupid.
Bernie Sanders fought for me.
Oh, fuck off.
I was growing up, and education was being gutted.
I can't even fucking hear the name Bernie Sanders. I get fucking boiling mad whenever I hear his name. That narcissistic old
When
man.
I was a child
It's almost done.
I am fuming.
that relied on CHIP so that I could see a
He
doctor,
wants healthcare for
Bernie
everybody.
Sanders fought for a single
Ah,
payer
fucking don't mention
healthcare
his name.
system.
actually was
Okay, I
Hillary.
just want
It
to
was
say,
actually
like,
Hillary Clinton that got chipped done for you, lady.
well, that's correct.
That's true.
I know. That's what I said. That's why I said it.
Like, I genuinely like Bernie. Like, I
What
like
did
Bernie
Bernie
Sanders.
do? What did Bernie do in Congress? He did nothing.
That's actually my point. No, I like Bernie. I like Bernie Sanders. I would definitely
I
support him over
hate his
Trump.
support
I-
so much, though.
I don't like his supporters, but
Okay.
that's not. No, I like him. I like Bernie, but I mean, Bernie didn't do those things. Other people did them. They got them done. He supported it. Sure, give him credit for it, but he didn't do it.
Bernie Sanders fought for a single-payer healthcare system.
I mean, Hillary Clinton
If she could
as
like
well,
change how her
so.
voice sounds, she'd sound. Was that sexist? I hope not.
Yeah, it was.
No, I wasn't being in a sexist way. Like I don't like a lot.
She
of
sound like a
men's voice as
bird.
well.
She
It's
sound like a bird.
like. Yeah, she does.
She sound like Dennis the Menace on a good day. Dennis the Menace. I'm actually okay. I'm gonna end this, and I'm gonna just turn this into a political machine call or whatever. Thank you for joining the View. We had discussed
Vote Fitzgerald.
Vote Fitzgerald.
We don't
of
endorse
course.
that.
Stephen Bryant.
Yes, we do.
I just want to
boundless
say that
Adam.
Stephen Bryant in the chat out of nowhere said Trump isn't a racist. Okay. Okay. That is the View. Welcome to the View. Thank you for joining us. I'm Whoopi Goldberg, and have a good night.